Welcome to a brand new episode of Picking Up the Pixels RPG Love. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Musim.
Hello.
We're here to talk about RPGs. Probably. Quick reminder here that we, here on RPG Love, we talk about RPGs kind of as a main focus, but we also do talk about other genres that I think we have a shared interest in, but also can tend to get overlooked, like visual novels or point-click adventure games or games like that. So I think we're not just the home for RPGs and JRPGs, but we do talk about other stuff here as well. So you might be prepared for that this month, going in to this because I don't. I'm in case no one has listened before, I'm not the guy that's like, okay, you need to play X number of hours of Y number RPGs in every month, and you need to come. It's like, look, man, if you don't have anything you like the worst thing is when when you can tell someone is playing something because they have to, or someone is making them, instead of being like, this is the game I can't stop thinking about, and I can't stop playing. The If you're like, oh yeah, put in another couple hours into this game. It's really loving it. Woo! It's so good. Video games. That's just the worst. So like, I never want to say like, oh, you didn't meet your gaming quota this month. How dare you? So that's not us. But Musim, let's talk about what you've been playing this past month.
Man, so I've been playing two games that I feel like from your description on spending time with games, I just had polar opposite experiences with.
Okay.
Uh, so the first one, I had some friends over and they talked me into buying Dispatch. Um,
Ah, yes.
so this is one of those characters go up levels, but it's really more of a Telltale style game, with a
Yep.
dash of this is the police in it. So this game I think I beat within 2, 3 days, which for present day me is amazing.
It's a pretty quick play. Like each episode is, I finished this when it came out, and each episode is like 45 minutes to an hour, and there's 8 episodes if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yeah, that
So
sounds about right.
it's a pretty snappy playthrough, I thought.
Yeah. So the first thing I did when I start up the game, any of these, I immediately go to settings. Like, okay, I'm blind
Yep,
and I don't like quick time events.
yep.
And it had an option that was like, you can just turn the quick time events off. I'm like, perfect.
I
Um,
definitely did that after like the first episode or two because I was like, the QuickTime stuff is fun, but not to the point where I feel like I need to have it on.
yeah. Um, I'm not always, my attention wanders too often, but
Mm,
this is just, man, this game just floored me with how good it was.
yeah, ditto.
I I just fell in love with all of the characters. It was surprisingly raunchy, and
Yeah.
I didn't think I would feel that way necessarily about like a game being good with that in it, but it was done in a really entertaining way that was not a disservice to the game and not a distraction for the game. And
Right. It felt
um,
natural for the characters that were doing
yeah,
all of that.
yeah, it's it's one that even just watching the little preview here in the corner makes me like I should replay and choose a couple different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, it's man, if you aren't familiar, I guess I'll run through the game description. Um, you play an Iron Man type superhero whose armor is powered by something that is kind of the MacGuffin for the game, but um, a lot of this is you lose the ability to run your armor, and then you have to go work at a dispatch facility for superheroes. So
Hmm.
you are telling them to go manage places. You are hacking computers for them, and you are giving them advice on their jobs. And whether those jobs succeed or not, are dependent on those decisions. Um, a lot of the game seems like it seems like the storyline is largely unconcerned about whether you're good at that aspect of the game or not.
Right.
Um, which I don't mind, but I do wish I had done a little bit better at it. I just we were talking about episodes. Every time it ends an episode, it gives you the fun, numbers things, who decided what. But like one of the first things it shows you is it's like you did X% uh better than everyone else or something
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
most of mine were under 50%.
Well, it's
I was
pretty.
like,
It's interesting because, like, going into it, you mentioned This Is the Police, which is a game politics of it aside, which the game, both This Is the Police 1 and even more so This Is the Police 2, really know the politics of the police force. Um, those are games that are like singularly that gameplay. And it has a little bit of story kind of around it, but nothing like the Telltale style stuff that you have in Dispatch. So my initial thought was like, oh, well, the dispatching part, it doesn't seem like it's going to be the point of the game. It's really going to be um, the cutscenes, the decisions, the same sort of Telltale style stuff. So when they had the dispatch stuff get more and more difficult over time, and it was the how do I put this? The stuff that was happening in the story was affecting the dispatch stuff, and vice versa. Like, there's some points in the story, I don't want to spoil it, but like some party members come and go. So like you might be starting the day in a dispatch with like 2 less party members out of your 8 people. Or one of my favorite moments was, because the SDN, the dispatching office, is a business, there are like cost cutting, there's downsizing, there's all the like normal business BS that's going on. And it is, those decisions are affecting your team. So there's one part that I'll always remember fondly, where the company's basically saying, whoever's at the bottom of the leaderboard, they're getting fired. So like, just don't be down there. So your team starts sabotaging each other to try and push
oh
other
yeah.
people to the bottom of the leaderboard. So like, you'll send, in the game you can send out 1, 2, or 3 people depending on how the job goes. And on some jobs during this little part of the game, you're sending out maybe 2 people on a job, and one person like pushes the other person into another dimension so they can finish the job themselves, and the other person gets demoted points. It's like, okay, like that's the interplay between the 2 halves of the game is a lot bigger and kind of more in depth than I was expecting.
Yeah, 100% that. Like they do a lot of really fun things with that. It is fun seeing it's weird because earlier, like what you said is true and what I said true about it. The dispatch part not necessarily affecting the story, but the story does. Every episode has a story beat that changes the aspects of the dispatch part.
True, right.
Um, I think they did a really good job
Yeah.
on that end. And honestly, I think the dispatch part is a lot of fun, and I kind of wish there was more of it, honestly.
Yeah, me
Um,
too, especially like as it got harder and more complex as the game goes through, and like as your party members get stronger and they like earn XP, and you're deciding skills that they're learning, and you're kind of unlocking their like innate abilities and stuff, and how one party member might have a positive relationship with another one. So if you send them out on jobs, they're much more likely together to succeed on a difficult job than if they were sent with someone else. Like it's not the most complex system on the planet, but there's enough there to be like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, dang, I put together a cool team. All right.
Yeah. And all the characters are talking the entire time.
Yep.
They are running missions. A lot of the missions branch out into multiple missions.
True.
There are um there are instances where you can do recon before doing the mission.
Right.
Um,
I liked
there's
that.
there's like one episode, and I'm not going to remember the specifics of enough, so it's not a spoiler, but um, you can just go confront the organization causing the issue, or you can try and research them
Oh,
first. You
right.
know,
Right. I thought that
um,
was cool.
yeah, like they do a lot of really neat things with that. I wish there was just more time in the game to explore that, but I feel like
Yeah.
this game has been so critically well received. I would be shocked if they did not do a sequel.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I feel like they've been talking for a while about like, yeah, we're gonna be working on something next. Is it Dispatch season 2? We don't know. Is it something new? We don't know. Like, but I think they've been pretty honest about saying like, obviously Dispatch did really well, and we love it. We'd love to go back to a season 2, but people, we sort of need to someone to
yeah,
pay for it.
yeah.
So
Need someone to pay for it, and also need the staff not to be burnt out on working on that
exactly.
thing creatively.
Yeah.
So, but I love this game.
Yeah, me too.
And it being only $30, like I just can't recommend it enough. But it
Yeah.
is one that you likely can't play around your children.
Yeah.
There is
It's
there's
definitely an
nudity and
adult game
yeah,
in every regard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but it is, man, it is well written. It is. I love every single character in that game.
Yep. Even the hateable ones.
Yes, yes,
Yep. And I think personally, um, it I was worried about the game falling into the trap that a lot of these kind of modern adventure games do, where it's like, oh, I chose this option, and it's not what I thought I was choosing. Um, and there's only one moment that game does it, but it does it for a reason. Like you pick a choice, and you you do something unexpected, but then the character like calls you on the phone when you're doing the dispatch stuff like 20 minutes later, and it's like, oh man, all right, I finally got the joke. Like, yeah, okay, you did this to me, great, I love it. It's like, okay, that was a very long payoff for it, but like that was an incredible moment of paying off the adventure game joke.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know that I have anything else to say about this. I'll probably play it again at some point. We'll see what time this month gives me.
Yeah, it's really good though. I also highly recommend it.
So the only other game I played, and I didn't play this for very long, is Life is Strange Reunion.
Okay.
Um, I forgot it had come out and had a free evening last night and realized it was there. I'm like, oh, I'll just play this. It's only $40.
Yeah.
Um, and it is amazing how much that game does not grab my attention. I'm gonna have to really kind of force myself into it. But a lot of the game's start is based around you having interest from everything the last game has stirred up.
Right, because
Um,
double exposure, without I would say this without
yeah,
spoiling it, was basically like tune in next week for more Life is Strange.
yes,
Like it wrapped up double exposure. However you feel about that is, however you feel about the end of that game, but it very much was like, as opposed to like Life is Strange 1 or 2 or True Colors, it was very much like this part of the story is done, but we're gonna be doing more, which is kind of a different thing for them.
yeah. So this game has the consequences of the last game, which kind of so I'm not too, how do I even talk about this game? Okay, so the trailers are advertising that Chloe is back. I'm not to a section of the game where Chloe and Max have met up, or they have explained Chloe coming back at
Okay.
all, you know. Um, they have one Chloe section at the beginning, and it is very unclear what any of that means.
Okay.
Um, and I am effectively, I got to the part where the screen literally said, go play the game now.
Oh, okay.
Which they have like probably an hour or two intro into that. Maybe not even that long. As I said, this game had a hard time capturing my attention. So there's a lot of playing and then me going, maybe I should do this other thing first, and then pausing it and doing something
Right.
else. Um, but
And to be honest, how much of that is? I think you and I shared some level of frustration at the back half of Double Exposure. How much of
yeah.
the sort of trepidation for Reunion is stemming from that?
Oh, I think all of it. Like
Hmm.
the game is built so much around you being having your interest peaked off of that last half. Um, and I know they can't abandon it, and it's necessary for the story. And I love the series in general, so I'm gonna give it a chance. And you know, if by the end I like it, I'll go through, play it again, and see the intro with new eyes. You know,
Sure.
maybe I'll even play Double Exposure again. I doubt it, but maybe.
Right.
Um, but it, you know, probably the other thing that works against this game is True Colors being so good.
Yeah.
Um,
For real. Well, and also like watching the first trailer of Reunion, the the last game didn't do so well, sort of reviews or sales wise. So the pessimist in me looks at Reunion and sees the like there's Chloe behind
mm,
glass and it says break glass in case of poor sales. And it's just like, all right,
oh yeah.
let's bring Chloe back. And it's like, okay, sure. I thought we handled that in like the first game and then the spin-off of the first game, the Before the Storm. Like I just
Yeah.
and then like having one of the big parts of Reunion being like Caledon is burning down. It's like we're just kind of like, isn't that just the storm from the first game? Like, are we treading the same ground in a game in a series that has been so strong? Of each one of these games is in the same world and usually features powers, but features a different cast of characters each time. They're obviously related in some way. There's some winks and nods to other games, but like True Colors was so good because it was just a Life is Strange game in a different area with a different cast with a cool power and telling a great story.
Yeah. I you know, I think another thing the other games have over Double Exposure and so far Reunion is the other games aren't really about the powers. They're
Right.
about there's some type of metaphor for things that happen in life where the characters are, what they've been through,
A coming of
and
age of some sort.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Double Exposure and so far Reunion seems very much about the powers more so
Right.
than the metaphor. Um, and and maybe they'll course correct. Again, I'm not very far. Like, you know, Moses is in it, and
Moses is great.
Moses being aware of your powers in the story is really one of the best things ever. I will
Yep.
give it that.
Moses is great.
He's I mean he's the best thing out of
Yep.
these two games probably.
Yep.
But it's I don't know. Right now, like the takeaway really anyone should take on me talking about this is I really haven't played it enough to know, and I'm still holding the last game against it.
Right.
Um, but it's you know, I guess another thing that put me off is they do a sit and listen to music part almost at the start of the game,
Okay.
which those are some of my favorite moments in these games, but
Mhm.
it's like it's like Mass Effect versus like Dragon Age Veilguard. The moments you get with your crew in Mass Effect are earned. Like you spend a lot of time
Right.
with them, you do X, Y, and Z, and then you have these really refreshing moments with them. Whereas in Veilguard, it's like they're checking off a list, and you're just immediately, okay, go spend time with your companions. And
Right.
that is how I feel about the music points in Life is Strange. Is a lot of those are like, okay, we just put you through something really emotionally heavy. And I suppose in the game's defense, they're probably expecting the intro to be emotionally heavy.
Sure.
Um, I did not find it so. To me, it was all just setup. So you go through the intro and then they do that, and the setup didn't. It just seems so. I don't know. I want to say rote.
But
Just
like
seems
that's the
very
concern
run of the
though,
mill.
right?
Yeah.
Like how much are they checking off the check boxes for the series of like you're saying the like Pacific Northwest indie soundtrack. Well, check. That's got to be in all of them. Like
Yeah.
you're right when you get the like sit and relax and listen to music moments. Like in the first game, it was either the first game or Before the Storm. I don't remember which one. But it was probably the first one because it was Max like waking up in the morning. And you could kind of like lay around in bed for a while before you got up, listening to the soundtrack. Like that feels
Yeah.
like a natural thing. But the last place I want it to be is the first thing you see in the game.
Yeah.
Like it to me, it like and it's a little bit different in the first Life is Strange because when you're like walking through the school and you can put on your headphones and you're listening to a soundtrack, that feels like a natural moment in the character's life as opposed to look, a bench. I'll just sit down
Yeah.
and look at Caledon and listen to this wonderful soundtrack. Wink. Like it just there's
Yeah.
it's a very fine line between those two.
Yeah. Although I can't remember if Double Exposure did this. They do a fun thing in that the audio clips you find are podcasts. Um,
Oh, there was one person, that real jerky lady, that investigative lady, the
Loretta.
first one that ran podcasts, but I don't. I think that was the only one. I don't
Yeah, and
remember.
it's one of the collectibles you find in the environment. So like you look at the one I think I found two of them, and one of them I found on a bulletin board, and the other I found on a bench. And when she finds one, she just sits down, and that's your next 5 minutes. It's
Okay,
listening to
interesting.
it. Um, which the bulletin board one was odd because it's just Max standing in a hallway.
Right, right, like staring at a bulletin board. Like, okay,
Just it didn't feel as natural. The other one on the bench, I can't remember if she sat down actually or not, but it
yeah,
felt a little more natural. But those I kind of like the idea of, even if the podcast stuff hasn't quite hit me yet.
right. I,
But
I haven't picked this game up myself. Like, you and I are very big fans of this series overall. And I've been kind of waiting to pick it up so I can play it on stream. Um, and I haven't done that yet. And I think my kind of the thing that's striking me the most out of everything is I think for the first time in the whole series history, I'm not like tripping over my own feet to go buy this and start playing it. Like
yeah,
all the other games, it was like I have it pre-ordered. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna set aside some time aside. The first day it comes out, I'm gonna play at least through the first episode. I'm gonna get and right now I'm just sort of like, okay, I'll get around to it sometime this
yeah,
year. Like that. That doesn't feel great.
yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. Like in years past, I would have bent over backwards to get that collector's edition pre-order,
Yep.
like right when I saw it. And this year, when I saw it, I thought, maybe it'll be around in a month. And
Yeah.
well, I didn't say maybe. I thought this will be around in a month. That last game wasn't that good, and
Right.
that was wrong. But at the same time, I've not enjoyed the music from Double Exposure as much as I have the other games,
Right.
and so far, Reunion has not hit me that way either. And I don't know, maybe this is just cranky old man upset at the new generation's tunes, but I kind of doubt it. Like I'm a
Yeah.
little more um I don't know. I'd listen to a huge variety of music. That I imagine if you only experience me on these TVGP podcasts, you may have no idea. Like I play jazz guitar for museums. Like I just have a large breadth of things I like from country to rock to hip hop to just all over. And I own vinyls from all of it. This isn't just lip service.
Right.
But there's something about the folksy Americana tunes they pick out for these Life is Strange games that just really hit me.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, that first game soundtrack especially, and like True
yeah,
Colors did it too, but like I feel like that first game soundtrack was really like such a moment of time of this like Pacific Northwest indie, like it felt authentic in a way that it was like this hyper focused music of the area that Max would be living in and what someone her age would be listening to. Like it felt so laser focused in a way that I feel like a lot of games don't really get, and that game really got it.
yeah. I mean, you talked about the intro earlier. I mean, that's you get these moments of Max being nervous about going to school, and then she goes to school, and it's her putting on her headphones, and then the song kicks in as she's nervously walking by everyone. Like that
Yep.
is such a strong intro.
Yep.
Like it is, man, it's so good. It makes me want to replay it talking about it.
Yep.
um,
And to be clear, I think the the thing, maybe if you're a new listener, we're not, I want to be super explicit that we're not looking for this game to fail. Like I'm not going in being like, let's play this garbage, let's check it out. It's really more of like my expectations and my hopes for these games are fairly high,
yeah,
and Double Exposure didn't meet didn't meet those expectations, which a lot of the other games have. So it's not this like impossible watermark that like, none of these games can be as good as I hope they'll be. Um, but like Double Exposure was such a like face plant in the back half of that game. Sort of like, oh boy, okay, boy, we went for that, and it's if you had a bad game in the past, like Life is Strange 2 is probably one of my least favorites. It's an incredible game. It's just so heavy story
yeah,
wise that it's a hard game to get through. Once that game was over, I was like, okay, great. Like we've had that story. That story will not pick up. I'm sure the next game will reference what happened in Life is Strange 2, but like we're never gonna see those brothers again and play through their story again. So the idea of Double Exposure kind of falling on its face and then Reunion being like, okay, well, let's get back up and keep going. It's like, oh man, I maybe kind of don't want to yet, at least. Like if you would say like, oh, here's another game in between, and then oh, well, back to Caledon, that would be okay. But like a little bit of frustration.
yeah. Like yeah. The other, and there are four other games,
Yeah.
like, and they're all really freaking good
Yep.
and have incredibly heavy emotional parts. And I
Yep.
I agree with everything you said. Two's it's the game I may never replay because it's so heavy.
Yeah.
Um, and it's so, these games are heavy because they relate to modern times, and the parts it was heavy about in modern times has only gotten worse.
Exactly. Right.
uh, so, but I'm by the end of this game, if I like it, it can entirely change my perspective on Double Exposure. Like to see the
Sure.
completed
True.
story, which I really hope happens. I don't expect it to, but I'm willing. I'm willing.
Yeah.
But anyway, I hopefully I can't imagine it will take me a month to beat this game unless it just
Right.
is that not great. But
Right.
I think at minimum Moses will get me through the game. So
True. He's the
and
real star.
yeah, and honestly, like I already feel like Max is better written this go around. So it's just gonna be, how do I feel about, them bringing back Chloe, and I can already see like kind of the mechanics they're doing.
Hmm.
And this is a guess, so it's not a spoiler. How do I word it? So double exposure. No, nah, I better just not talk about any of that. Um, let's just say Max's powers are different and double exposure, and I think that is
Right.
their lever to bring her back in this one. But it hasn't
Oh,
happened
I
yet. So
see.
Max's powers are Life is Strange 1 powers,
Right.
which is nice, and it's kind of from the get go. But there's a lot of things to look around, and you're still at Caledon.
Yeah. Just interesting.
uh, yeah, but anyway, I hopefully return with a more positive take on it, or at least lukewarm take on it next month.
Right. Right.
But anyway, so that's all I've been doing. What have you been up to?
Well, it's not really an RPG, but I'm playing a lot of Marathon. Uh, it's very much
Mm.
the only thing I'm thinking about and want to play. Like it really sits in that spot in my brain. Um, and this is my first extraction shooter, so I was kind of curious to see what kind of genres. Like I've played some extraction shooter stuff before because I played the Division 2, and the Division 2's Dark Zone is kind of technically an extraction shooter. It's the grandfather of the genre. Um, but this is my first kind of real, true extraction shooter, like Arc Raiders, Escape from Tarkov, Hunt Showdown, all those kind of games. Um, I think the thing that I was most surprised about is how many um, kind of RPG elements there are in here. Um, Again, it's not an RPG, but kind of everything you're doing in the game generates XP. And a lot of it is just kind of your like account level or your season level or whatever you want to call it for the seasons that you're playing. Um, and some of it is what I think is the most interesting part of it is there's 6 different factions in the game, and each faction has a skill tree associated with it. Um, and each of the um, skill trees, they're all active at the same time. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to pick this one skill tree over another one. Um, but each of them have kind of base level upgrades to your character or your account or your inventory size or stuff like that. So it's this interesting kind of melding of RPG skill trees and then almost roguelikes, where it's like when you start playing Marathon, you're comparatively weaker than you would be if you've been playing for 10 hours or 20 hours and you've invested into some of these skill trees and you've gotten a bunch of upgrades through those, and then you'll be like kind of starting at a better position than you had before. Um, and you're kind of earning XP or like earning reputation, which is just XP for each one of these factions, and then using that and some materials you get when you're out doing runs to level up individual stuff for each one of those factions. And then you're doing contracts for each faction, which is basically like side quests for each one that gets you bonus faction XP. So it's definitely not an RPG. Like it is an extraction shooter through and through. One that I'm really enjoying for a lot of reasons. Like it plays like a Bungie game, so the shooting is top tier, and it's looks and sounds incredible. People have probably already seen how it looks. The entire game looks incredibly clean and very futuristic. Like it has the soundtrack is absolutely killer. Um, I haven't heard of the group Sun Lux, but the kind of main
Oh
musician
yeah.
behind that did Ryan Lott. He did the soundtrack for this, and it's all
Sunlux
so good.
Sunlux is great. He usually like a lot of his solo stuff is very slow and spacey and sad.
Hmm.
But he also did the soundtrack to the Thunderbolts movie,
Oh wow,
oddly
okay,
enough,
interesting.
uh, which surprised me there. But it was one of the better Marvel soundtracks, honestly.
Right. Yeah,
But yeah, I like that guy's work a lot.
his work here is really really good. He actually broke the soundtrack into two CDs, two volumes. The first one is kind of edited down versions of each one of the tracks, that they're kind of how they're used in the game, and then volume two is extended versions of them. So instead of like 30 tracks, there's 10, but each track is like 18 minutes long, and it really takes the full kind of sonic journey throughout each one of those. Um, it's this
That sounds really
wonderful like
cool.
futurist kind of glitchy kind of spacey sort of thing. The soundtracks are fantastic. Um, but it's been really interesting to play this and kind of see as the uh, extraction shooter genre evolves and matures, how many things we're kind of like plucking from other genres and stuff. It's interesting to see. We've been seeing this for a long time. I think one of the first big kind of meldings we saw was the original Borderlands, of like, oh, it's a shooter, but it's clearly an RPG at the same time. You're leveling up, you're getting XP, you're getting green and blue and purple drops. Like we got the whole thing. But it's interesting to see that kind of continue to permeate more games and more genres. And an extraction shooter was definitely not where I was expecting something like this to be. Even if it's like the thinnest kind of RPG influence, it's interesting to see where that all is going. So, the only other thing I've been playing a lot is Stardew Valley, because I'm still working on the platinum on that game, and I just gotta play a lot of it, which is definitely not a problem, but it's a lot of Stardew Valley. So.
Mm.
All right, let's roll right here into our releases for the month of April 2026. We're start off with here Starfield on April 7th comes out on the PS5. PS5 version has all of the kind of regular PlayStation improvements. It has like the PSSR support on the Pro console. It has haptics, uses a controller speaker, blah, blah, blah. It uses kind of all of the usual things. There's also, on all platforms, there's a new expansion or DLC or something. Because, like, from what I understand, when the original game came out, then there was an expansion at some point. I have a really hard time telling if that expansion is included in this version or if it's just available with the PS5 version at launch. I am suspecting, if I'm going to be pessimistic again, sort of suspecting that half of the reason why it's hard to tell is because maybe it's not. But keep that in mind if you have not yet played Starfield. I
I gotta
never.
say, after they released that last patch, I'm tempted to give it another shot, but I'm not subscribed to Xbox Game Pass anymore.
That was going to be
Uh,
my question. Is like I think you and I both kind of really gave it the old college try with Starfield, and I think we bounced off basically at about the same time and place. My question was going to be, do you feel like there's something here that would bring you back to Starfield at any point?
there was, I read an article outlining some of the Free Lanes update features because it
Okay.
sounds like they updated just about everything in the game.
Right.
They introduced a giant asteroid home base you can eventually buy.
Oh, okay.
They made it so that you can actually like set your your ship to autopilot from one place to another and wander around your ship and do stuff in the ship while
Oh,
you
great.
fly.
Okay.
They did a lot of the things I expected at the start of the
Right.
the release. Um, I mean, it also sounds like they're just still stealing from. I just blanked out the game they stole from originally's playbook. Um, why can I not
The
think of it? The
the
PlayStation game that launched without features that added
No Man's
everything.
Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Right.
It sounded like they just kind of continued to add a lot of that stuff to
Right.
it. I don't know if that'll be enough or not, but I did love the kind of gambling planet in the
Mm.
area. I didn't like any of the mining stuff, but I have a friend who just adores, the Survivor Sims where you're just constantly collecting things and building things. So
Right.
he made it sound like there's a method where you could automate a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
But I I am curious. Am I buy it for PlayStation curious? Probably not. Like
Yeah.
at most, I may resubscribe to Xbox Game Pass for a month or two.
Yeah, I might
Um,
give it another shot over there.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I'd probably prefer to play on PlayStation if I played anywhere, but I don't know. And like so the past half year especially has just been like hands down working on all these music things I have, and I just haven't been able to game as much. And
Right.
I think I'm going to have gaming time in April.
There you go.
And granted, I need to prioritize our game club game.
Right.
And life is strange, but like I maybe get to be a little bit of a gamer for a minute,
Right. Yeah,
like the old days.
I'm kind of in the same boat because, like, Starfield was fine, but, like, once I got to the back half of the game and I realized I'd kind of have to, like, keep doing the same. I don't really want to spoil it, but, like, keep doing the same kind of dungeons over and over again to kind of finish the game. I kind of tapped out at that point because I was like, well, it's like the
Yeah,
game's fine, the shooting is fine, like everything in the game is fine, but nothing I think was really pulling me towards the end of the game in a way that felt like, oh, I want to see where this all goes, to kind of propel me through. And a lot of the stuff that's been added is really great stuff, but I don't think anything in there is really
yeah,
gonna bring me back to propel me through. I don't think, which
yeah.
is
And
a bummer.
I don't think there's any world where if I try Starfield again, I make it through the storyline. Like
Yeah,
that's just, but that's a Bethesda open world RPG. Like how
sure,
most of those games don't have a very good storyline. Skyrim is very unique in that the main story is actually pretty decent, and you get some cool powers and stuff for it.
true,
But like, you know, Fallout 3, you're can I spoil a 20-year-old game?
sure,
Uh, Fallout 3, your character probably dies at the end.
right,
Um, and then I don't remember what they did to allow you to play through the DLCs. I feel like they just had you load the game before you make the final decision, and then you go actually play them. But that might be wrong. It's
right.
it's been too long.
Yeah,
And
okay,
yeah, I was just gonna start listing other
okay.
Bethesda.
I
Like New
hope
Vegas, isn't them? Yeah, go
I
ahead.
hope that people that have been waiting for it to come out on PS5, because maybe they don't have an Xbox platform, they don't have a PC or whatever. I hope they play it. I hope they enjoy it. There are still a lot of people out there that do and did genuinely enjoy this game. It just never did that for me. But I hope that the people that have been waiting for this check it out, and I do hope they enjoy it.
Oh, I forgot they redid the experience system for the special power stuff.
Oh,
Um,
really? Huh.
like that is supposed to be easier to come by now.
Interesting. Okay. Hmm.
So
That's
they made reading the update, they did make a lot of really smart things. And at some
right.
point they are going to add enough to this game where I could probably walk back into it and get what I get out of like a Skyrim or an Oblivion or a Fallout,
Right.
But
Right.
I don't know if now's that time or not. But
Right.
yeah, I'm
But maybe
same
someday.
boat with you.
Yeah. Next game we have here, Dosa Divas, sometimes titled Dosa Divas One Last Meal, comes out on April 14th for PS5, Series Console, Switch 2, and PC. This is from Outer Loop Games. They did the game that we loved, which was Thirsty Suitors. This is a brand new game. It's a cooking, turn-based RPG, which looks really good. I think when we played Thirsty Suitors, I think our kind of feedback or our quote-unquote review of it was largely like, this is a really cool game. I kind of want to see what they do next, though. Like, taking this framework and taking
Yeah.
the ideas they have here, what are they going to do next? And I've been watching Dos Divas for a while, and it looks really cool. And it definitely looks like, all right, we're going to take the combat system from Thirsty Suitors, which was fine, if not kind of a little thin, and now we're going to fully flesh it out and turn it into like a whole real thing. So I think this is super pumped. Do you think you're going to check this one out?
I keep forgetting about it, but I remember thinking the same thing on Thirsty Suitors. Was like, this was a valiant first effort, but I'd really like to see what you do next with everything you've learned.
Yeah.
And if they want to make their thing in the market, dating and meal cooking turn-based RPGs, like
Right.
I love it. I'm
Yep.
for it. I will probably eventually play this. Maybe on Game Club. No one
I was
knows,
going to
but
say,
we'll see.
it seems like it's destined for Game Club for us overall.
Yeah.
So. Next up, we have Hades 2 comes out to consoles on April 14th, same day for PS5 and Series consoles. It should be Game Pass day and date, if I'm understanding correctly. Of course, this is a roguelike, but it's also sort of an RPG at the same time. But it's also like one of the biggest games on the planet, so never hurts to talk about a massively giant game. We played this on We Rogue Like It for a month, and I think Moon and I both liked it quite a bit. I think we struggled a little bit with it because both for better and for worse, it is another Hades game. It's not necessarily a huge evolution over the first one, which is not inherently bad. But I think when coming away from it, we found we just wanted like just one more step, like just one more like little thing past what the first game did. But it still looks incredible, sounds incredible, plays super well. So it's kind of it's more of a good thing is never really that bad. So that's Hades 2. Next up is Vampire Crawlers: the Turbo Wild Card from Vampire Survivors. So this is not Vampire Survivors 2. This is the first-person dungeon crawling card deck building thing. Comes out April 21st, PS5, Series consoles, Switch, and PC. This is from the same studio, so it is still from Ponkel, but like a significantly different game in every regard here, which is pretty wild overall.
I've not watched this before, and this looks amazing.
Yeah, it's really interesting because they're like, Ponkel was saying like, yeah, we'll make Vampire Survivors 2 at some point, and we're going to keep supporting Vampire Survivors as long as we want to. It's sort of, if you read between the lines, it sort of seems like that. And they actually licensed out the Vampire Survivors engine for that Warhammer Survivors game. They're not making it, but they licensed out the Vampire Survivors engine, which I thought was really interesting. But yeah, it's kind of nice to see them. Like, obviously, it is all of the same sprites and a lot of the same characters and all the same weapons and stuff from Vampire Survivors, but to see them do a first-person dungeon crawler where the attacks that you're using are based on a deck of cards that you've built, like that's a cool idea to kind of take the existing stuff you have and meld it into something cool and new. And maybe it'll make more people play dungeon crawler games. There's a bunch of them that are out there, and dungeon crawlers are cool. So, fingers crossed. That's Vampire Crawlers. And last but not least, here we have Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred. As the new expansion comes out on April 28th, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, and PC. I had forgotten the Vessel of Hatred was the first expansion that they had. And this is Vessel of Hatred. Looks like it comes with 2 new classes. One is the Paladin, and one is Warlock. And then there's like a whole bunch of other stuff here, like new skill trees and a bunch of new campaign stuff. And I'm sure there's been like 30 million patches in between last time I played it and now, so I'm sure it's a remarkably different game at this point. So I don't know, man. If you're looking to come back to Diablo 4, now's probably a great time. But we're definitely not the people to say like it's a great time to hop back in because of all these changes. That's not. I have not kept up with Diablo 4 at all. So
I don't. Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna ever play Diablo 4 again.
Yeah, I feel like I was thinking about Diablo 3 the other day and its seasons, and I thought, dang, I could play a little bit more Diablo 3 and like play some seasons in that. I never had the thought for a moment about playing Diablo 4 for that same reason, which I think is like part of Diablo 3's thing for me was like the level of comfort of I know how to play Diablo 3. I know what like Demon Hunter build I have. I know how to do all these season stuff. Like they're kind of continually re-rolling and redoing all the past seasons. But like I have never. I don't know if I'll go back to play Diablo 4, which is it's very similar to Starfield. It's a good game, and like there's really nothing wrong with it. It just never really clicked with me in the way that I was hoping that it would, which is kind of more of a bummer than anything else. Yeah. So maybe someday I'll have to look and see what the I own Diablo 4, so like I could always go download it or whatever, but like I should go look and see someday if there's any like short guide of like, oh, here's all the cool stuff that got added to Diablo 4 ever since it came out. Maybe there's something in there where it'd be like, ooh, okay, yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, and I don't know that like I really, to me, because Diablo 3 and 4 were so much like games as service,
Right.
I really just don't want the commitment or spending or addiction that comes with that stuff.
Yeah.
And I just, unless they make a Diablo that is, to me, more about it, well, maybe this isn't the thing to say. What I want to say is more about the story, but like
Right.
when I think about what I loved about Diablo 1, it was all the random side quests. You wouldn't get the same side quests as you played through the game, and I liked exploring every inch. And Diablo 4 seemed like it was more focused on getting through the game as fast as possible. And I don't like playing games like that.
Right.
But, and I don't know if 3 was like that because I didn't spend a ton of time with that one either. But
well, and I feel like there was definitely the Diablo 4 launch felt a lot like that of like, well, just get through the story as fast as you can, and then you can start the season stuff, or you can start the new game plus, or you can start the whatever like post game stuff. And I think I shared the same frustration you did of like, okay, but like it'll be there, man. Like that's fine. That's part of the reason why I like Diablo 3 is like I played through that story already. It's like starting a new seasonal character that sort of bypasses all that stuff is fine because I've played that story a number of times with like each one of the character classes. But that kind of first playthrough of Diablo 4, I also had that same frustration of like, all right, I'll get to it, man. I got side quests to do. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's all the games that's coming out this next month that we know of, at least right now. I feel like this year has been a lot of like, hey, guess what? This game's coming out today. So, pardon us if we don't know that that's going to happen this next month, but it probably will. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at pickingupthepixels.com, also tvgp.tv. It's posted in both places. If you'd like to support us, you can do so over at patreon.com/E1M1 or E1M1.cash. $5 a month tier is a recommended one. That gets you all the early access, behind the scenes, uncensored, exclusive stuff. Musa, where can we find you?
So you can find me and my new album Hauntology on my Linktree, linktr.ee/John Musim, JohnMusim. I really hope you check out my new album. I've gotten a lot of really good feedback on it so far. I think it's likely the best thing I've ever put out. So please go take a listen and let me know what you think.
You can find me over at janston.com. That's got all my links and stuff. I live stream every weekday at 9 a.m. Pacific to noon Pacific, except for Thursday. It's just 1 hour shorter. And I'd love to have you come hang out. I live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok every single day, or every single weekday. I take the weekends off. Except for Sunday, when I do twitch.tv/E1M1 Network, when we record TVGP Live. I think that's it. So thanks, everyone, for listening and watching. We do greatly appreciate it. We'll see you all next month. Bye!
Bye.